Hello, this is Wayne Perry, the Registrar for the Maryland Association of Student Councils. Welcome to the tutorial for registering for the MASC 2015 Fall Leadership Conference. Let's start on the Fall Leadership Conference page of the website mdstudentcouncils.com. Here are the dates and fees related to the event, and then important information you need to know. The direct link to begin the online registration process is at the bottom of the page. Here you see the links to important documents. When you begin online registration, you will be asked if you have read these critical documents. Taking a few moments now to review them may save you a lot of time down the road. If your school has not joined MASC yet, click here and follow the instructions. Remember that schools that join MASC prior to November 1st receive a $10 discount off their Fall Leadership Conference registration fees. When you are ready, click on this link to be taken to the Fall Leadership registration website. The structure of registration is illustrated here. First, you gather needed information. Second, you go online to pre-register and submit the data that MASC requires for participation. And finally, you pay the required fees. Let's go back to the MASC website and click on the registration link provided at the bottom. Here is the start page. Online registration is the responsibility of the school advisor or an administrator, not students or parents. Read this page carefully, and if you haven't met these expectations, come back to the site after you have. After confirming, click on the button to begin. First, we need to identify our school. Put your cursor in the box and begin typing your school name. If it doesn't come up, then go to the right side of the box and click on the arrow to display the drop-down list. If for some reason your school is not listed, click on the blue button and follow those instructions. When your school name is displayed, click on the Submit button. For the purpose of this tutorial, I'm going to enter the name of the school where I was last assigned before I retired. On this page, your school information is displayed. Be sure it is your school and not another with a similar name. Use the back button to search again if you need to. Let's tell MASC who I am and who will be the advisor attending the leadership conference for my school. Typically, the advisor and on-site advisor will be the same person. However, with the approval of the school administration, it is possible for a school to have a delegation participate as long as arrangements have been made. Here I have filled in my information as if I was the advisor for this school. If the on-site advisor will be an advisor from another school or office and is registering separately, then this box is checked. When ready, I click the Submit button. Notice the message at the top. Whoever is entered as the on-site advisor has been automatically listed in the table that will eventually list everyone attending from the school. You can click on the Edit button with the pencil icon to complete the information. Here's my chance to review the advisor and school information, and describe any corrections that may need to be made in the comments box at the bottom of the page. Next, we will add more attendees until everyone participating in Fall Leadership Conference from the school is listed. When I am done, I can hit the Submit button below. However, for this tutorial, I'm going to enter 5 additional attendees. I'm going to hit the blue Add an Attendee button, and a window pops up. In these pop-up windows, I will enter or select the requested information for each person attending, one at a time, using the data I've already gathered before going online. Ideally, I will use everyone's emergency forms for this. Be sure you are thorough and accurate. Here's what it would look like if Mickey Mouse was one of my delegates. When I'm done, I hit the Add Attendee button to add this person to my list. I have 4 more people attending, so I will hit the blue Add an Attendee button each time until everyone is listed. Now the advisor and the entire delegation from my school is listed. If I have made any errors, I can click an Edit button to make corrections. If I mistakenly listed someone who is not attending, I can easily delete them. When everything is correct and I've made any needed comments, I click on the Submit button. The confirmation page is where I will review all of the information I've entered. Further down the page will be an invoice summary. Here I will see the calculation of the fees for my registration, including the $10 discount if my school joined MASC before November 1st. Next, I will select my payment method. If I notice any errors, I can fix them by using the blue Oops button. when everything is correct. I am ready to hit the Submit Completed Registration button. The next screen informs me that my school is now pre-registered, but I am not done yet. When I hit the Submit button on the previous page, my data was uploaded to MASC and a confirmation email was immediately sent to me. This email is critical because it contains information I must have to complete the registration process. I should be able to go to my email program and find the confirmation email. And indeed, there it is. Because of the importance of the information in this email, I strongly advise saving it and marking it if possible for future reference. If you cannot find your email, check your junk, trash, and spam folders. If you still can't find it, contact me. It may have been an error in the advisor email that was entered, or there is a firewall issue, or, since we are dealing with the World Wide Web, your guess is as good as mine. The bottom line is to contact me if you can't find it, and I can send you a copy of what you should have received. At this point, I need to illustrate both methods of payment, as each is a bit different than the other. First, paying with a check. Here is my confirmation email. It contains my invoice link, a unique link to my school's registration report and invoice. It also includes information that I need to finalize my school's registration, so it is advisable to save it for reference now and in the future. I must do two things before the postmark deadline: pay the invoiced amount and submit to MASC a copy of the invoice signed by my principal or designee. Now let's click on that link. Remember, these are the instructions if you are paying by check. Paying with a credit card is a similar process with only a couple of differences that will be explained shortly. The link has taken me to my official registration report invoice. It tells me the date of my registration, my invoice number, and all of the other information that I submitted. Here is where the principal will sign. This authorizes my students to participate as delegates from my school. It also includes instructions for paying with a check. If paying with a check, make 3 copies of the invoice, 1 for your records, 1 to request payment, and 1 to get signed and mailed with the check. For your own benefit, please do not rely on someone else to meet your deadline. A great way to avoid being billed for a late fee is to hand carry an invoice to the principal to get it signed and then mailing it yourself, along with a payment guarantee. A payment guarantee is explained in the important documents on the website. Once the signed invoice and payment or guarantee are on the way to me, you are done. Congratulations. Now let's go through the process of paying with a credit card. Back on the confirmation page where you indicate your payment method, I have indicated I'm paying with a credit card. Having reviewed everything on the page, making any necessary corrections, and indicating my method of payment, I am ready to hit the Submit Completed Registration button. I have gone to my email and I have saved and marked it for future reference, so that I can use my invoice link anytime I need to. Now I'm going to look at the instructions for paying with a credit card. As you can see, there will be a Pay with Card button on the invoice. This will be used by whomever will be entering the credit card payment information. Let's click on the invoice link. Here we see my custom invoice for paying with a credit card, with the date, invoice number, and all of the other information I submitted. Here is the place where the principal signs, authorizing my students to participate as delegates of the school. Here is the blue Pay with Card button, which we will shortly use. This, of course, is not found on the invoice for paying with the check. If your registration fees are going to be paid with a credit card, make 2 copies of this invoice, 1 for your records and 1 to get signed and then submitted to me. For your own benefit, please do not rely on someone else to meet your deadline. A great way to avoid being billed for a late fee is to hand carry an invoice to the principal to get it signed, and then mailing it yourself. One of the advantages of paying by credit card is not needing a payment guarantee. Notice of payment comes electronically to me. Let's assume I have the school credit card and continue with the payment process. I'm going to click on the blue Pay with Card button. This will pop up a window that begins the online payment process with our merchant services provider. Simply enter the requested information, hit the blue button, and then follow their instructions. If you are paying for registration with a credit card, it is likely that someone else handles the actual card transaction. In such a case, send the person who will be doing the transaction your invoice link. Tell him or her to go to the link to bring up your invoice, then hit the blue Pay with Card button on that invoice and follow the instructions that will be given as a result. When the transaction is completed, a receipt will be sent to whomever's email is entered in the payment process. We have successfully completed the online registration process for the 2015 MASC Fall Leadership Conference. Congratulations! If you have any questions or concerns, for those related to the registration process or making changes to your registration, contact me at this email. For questions or concerns related to exemption to rules or fees, contact Lance Lederer, MASC Executive Director, at this email. This information is also available on the MASC website. Thanks, and see you at Fall Leadership.